Game number 3 now for Rats versus IJC. If Lost Ratones win this game, they are going to be the winners of EMEA Masters. But they still need to win that one game. Are we going to see a potential reverse sweep here from IJC? Are they going to put up a bigger fight? I mean, they've been playing reasonably well, honestly. These games have been really close. Gold has been generally been even a lot for a lot of the game. I saw some creative invading there from IJC, but not quite hitting what they need to. Maybe we'll see a less aggressive game here from IJC. Maybe looking to play a little bit more of the scaling game instead, since their early stuff hasn't been quite working out. But anyway, Rats are back on blue side. And the same bands coming through with the Varus, Maokai, Azir, also very common bands, but we've got some slightly new ones here with the Callista and the Jax. First pick will be going over to Rats. And the Sign and Gragas are still open for Baus to play if that's what they want to put him on. Seems to be absolutely he seems to be absolutely fine just taking his pick, but they don't. They take Tristana, which is also a potential flex pick for both mid lane and AD carry. What's the response here for IJC? What are they looking for in terms of grabbing before Rats? I think Talia is also a pretty good contested pick. Could be quite useful maybe against the Tristana, but Lilia jungle being picked up here. Maybe a Yone in the mid lane. Seen Lilia a few times recently in these games. Final 2 picks here until the next ban phase for Rats. Probably gonna see another jungle pick. We could see a Nidalee coming out here. Could see something for the Baus as well. We could see a Sion or a Gragas. We do see the Gragas. 86% win rate on Gragas in this competition so far. I feel like with that win rate alone, that's and it's the Nidalee, and we both get the Gragas and the Nidalee here. What are IJC going to be taking here? You could maybe lock in an AD carry here just to make sure you don't get taken out. Tristana's already been taken. You've already got the 5 AD carries that aren't available. 6 AD carries that aren't available. There's going to be a very tight AD carry pool, potentially, for IJC. Rats could easily give that Tristana over to Crowny. One thing that you could say about Rat's team composition right now is maybe a little bit squishy. There's not much frontline going on, so Reckless really needs to take a tanky support. And you can see those tanky supports have been taken down. It's going to be an Cassante top, actually, not the Aatrox. But yeah, Reckless would probably need to play something like the Rel maybe, and I can see that being banned over. And Nautilus has also been banned. That limits the support pool even more of tankier type champions. We've already got the Alistair, the Leona, Nautilus, Rakan, Blitzcrank, Braum now taking out of the equation. Do they ban the Rel here? Do they let that happen? What's the option? They are going to ban the Rel. I guess Janna could be in the minds of Reckless as well, or Renata, in order to... So what is even left here in the support engage pool? Thresh, Pike. Are they going to want to play any of those? Sivir being taken up, so we could end up seeing like a Lulu Sivir bot lane that seems to be a favorite of pro player at the moment. Which would mean that you would need a hard engage for the Lulu, but you can't really get the hard engage. Doesn't quite work into the Sivir because of the spell shield. Makes it incredibly difficult. Are we going to be seeing a Zeri? We're going to see Zeri Lulu. The Lulu being denied here with the Sivir. I mean, that was pretty good Lulu counter pick. Looks like Hans is not too happy about that one. Hans Sam D. Karma though, we've seen that cause issues for Rats early on in the laning phase, giving a bit of a prio over to IJC in the very early parts of the lane. They're going to be shoved in. I feel like Nidalee might get invaded here early again. I think she has to start her red buff, yeah, early on. They are playing blue side, so do keep an eye on Valia's jungle pathing here, because if she doesn't clear out that red side, bot side early, that Carmen's going to push in with the Sivir, and that could create a lot of problems for an invade. Also, Rat's team composition is wet cardboard potentially. At least on IJC, you have a very tanky Cassante, and even Yone's pretty tough to take down with shield bow later on and all the healing. It's gonna be tricky for Rats to pull off this one. If they fall behind early, and they have been falling behind early, and I can't imagine that bot lane's gonna get ahead early on either. It's gonna take a lot here for them to get through this first part of the game and not in. I feel like this is going to be another explosive game, similar to the previous one. I feel like IJC are definitely going to have to push in some momentum here early. They can't sit back and let this team comp scale through and be punished for the fact that they have, honestly, not that much crowd control. I think for me, I probably slightly prefer IJC's draft. But there was some smart taking away in denial, like making sure they didn't get the Lulu. Karma Magic Q lands on 3 players there on Rats. I don't imagine we're going to see Ballast build tanky either. I'm expecting an AP build from him. He is starting Sapphire, Crystal, and Refillable, which does mean that he gets to get his first item a little bit quicker, not investing into the Dorans. And this is what I mean. Nidalee has to start bot side. She knows that her bot lane will not have priority here early. How much can IJC punish Rats' early game here again? It is do or die now for IJC. They lose this game, Rats will be the winners. A little bit of chip damage there coming over to Zeri. Magic Q and Sivir Q. Lulu's shield does absorb some of that. I'm expecting Nemesis to get some priority here though in the mid lane though, so it's not all lost in terms of jungle priority. Yone's going to lose a little bit of CS there under the turret. Just the one. Yeah, I wish we were focusing a little bit more into this bot lane, because I think that's going to be the main area to look at, and that's where the most damage is going to be going down. Zeri's already taken a bunch of burst damage there. Level 2 kicking in first here for IJC, and you can already see health issues here for the Zeri. You got the Sivir also has a biscuit to eat on too, to restore her health up if needed as well. There's no way that Rats can sustain this early without being punished, at least a plate potentially. Lulu does block some of that Sivir damage. Top is going in the favor of Cassante as well. Now it's taking a little bit of damage there, trying to make sure you can try and CS under this turret. Could end up seeing a very early recall reset here from Gragas. Does look like Crowny on that Zeri has been getting a bit more HP coming up there. Doran's Blade rejuvenating some of that health back. Both jungles clearing out their jungle. Nidalee seemed to be slightly faster there. Lilia is going to pick up the scuttle. Nidalee is making her way up top by the looks of things to get that top lane scuttle, but does mean there's some extra pressure on bot side now potentially. Lots of damage going over to Zeri there. Teva does connect from the Karma. Lulu taking a bit more damage. Advantage still over to IJC. Remember, Dark Seal now and Boots have been picked up by this Nidalee. Lilia has not reset yet. Lilia does have double buff running here right now. Nidalee finds the engage over here onto the Lilia. Don't think that was a steal though. I think Lilia got that smite off. Tristana building up a very slight CS lead. Gold in this game still dead even after a couple of minutes. In the health bars, everything here though. One Civic Q, they're doing quite a lot of damage. Karma trying to find an avenue here. Tether goes down onto the Zeri. Zeri is now locked up. Could see some of the usage here. Mantra used there by the Karma already. Some of the heal being forced by both supports. Karma misses that Q. Mana issues are starting to happen on both sides there. Lilia looking for an avenue to do some pressure here, considering that her bot lane is further ahead. Did she not see the Nidalee there? What's happening here in this fight? Nidalee seemed to maybe try and hide away. That seemed very awkward. Zeri's going to take a lot of damage here. Karma flashes over. Lands to Teva. Teva is not going to quite connect, but it does mean that this Zeri is now diveable. This is one of the things I highlighted on the stream before these games started, is that if you do clear out that bot side early, it does mean that you could leave your bot lane to be tower dove later on. Baus is struggling here. He's not level 6 to knock away this Cassante. Cassante pushes forward, flashes forward as well. No kill is found there, but there is no TP on Gragas, whereas Cassante still has his. There is no bot lane dive going down here onto Zeri. I feel like if IJC looked at that, they could have potentially have looked at something like that happening. Cassante's recall is interrupted. He has no flash. He has no mana to really do anything here. I don't know if Nidalee has quite enough here to finish this off. Nearly takes a second tower shot there, but Gragas is now pushing in the wave. Nidalee's spear doesn't quite connect, but it does buy some time for Gragas to be able to push in this lane and potentially reset. Karma is now playing up topside for Grubs, and Gragas is now moving down too. Lulu is nowhere near though to be part of this fight. They might have to abandon this after one grub. Am I going to see an abandon here? Gragas has no mana. He hasn't got mana to go over that wall either. He's just going to recall there off to the side. Cassante also resets off too, so one grub denied. Karma did get the roam off. Not sure Civ is being punished in answer to that though. And thank you. Apparently Yoni did use flash in the mid lane at some point then. Must have been some 1v1 action. This Shishima didn't pick up a replay on that. Nearly catching a spear over to the Yone. Flash sleep happening over here from the Nidalee. All good movement from the Nidalee to go to the side there to avoid the Yone ulti. Meanwhile, Tristana is waiting for the Yone to pop back in after the E, but not enough damage coming through. Nidalee's spear does land on the Lilia. Tristana ults the Yone back here. Almost into the Zeri Zap. Tristana forced to flash here. Lots of summers and everything's been used here. No ultis on the bot lane here just now. Zeri's still been pushing forward here, even though there's a big health deficit. Nidalee trying to find a spear there. Does get spell shielded. Questions have to be asked there why Zeri kept pushing in for that when you saw there was a very clear health deficit there on the Zeri. Beautiful spell shield there to block the Nidalee spear coming from over the wall. Aggressive gameplay here coming from IJC. They're not going to back down in this series without a fight. Baus is now looking to proxy the wave as predicted. Yeah, he's found that, and I think she's just going to pick up an easy kill here. Baus does use his ulti. He is going to clear out this wave. Lilia actually chunked down to 30%. Baus is buying some time here. Yone used his E. Karma's now up here. Finds Baus. Does connect. So he's not going to be able to get the execute off. He might be able to give Karma a solo kill here though. Now he's wasting Karma's time. Karma can't quite finish off just yet. Body slam. Looked a bit strange there, but Karma does end up picking that kill up in the end. But in the meantime, that's allowed Rats to set up dragon control. They spent far too long there killing the Gragas, and it just brings over that free objective for them. Well, not necessarily free, but I think if you're Rats, you're happy with that. Karma getting a kill, 4 players on IJC wasted to get the dragon. I think that's a big positive outcome there from Rats after a pretty difficult start to this game. Zeri looking to be aggressive here onto the Zeri. Polymorph being used instead of Whimsy onto the Zeri. I will say though, I'm not a massive fan of seeing Reckless playing these enchanters, but this Lulu pick was a denial for the Sivir. Ward's being cleared out here, but IJC have the advantage here. They're pretty strong now, especially with Sivir having that kill. Makes this early game even harder to deal with the Karma. Karma will eventually fall off though. Cassante forced to flash away from the Nidalee Spear. Gragas does have ulti. Spear connects once again onto the Lilia. Gragas getting straight back up into that top side, trying to push in that wave to deny Cassante as much as possible. Nidalee's trying to cut off as well. Tristana jumps in. Tries to get some free damage down the Yone. Yone's flash will be coming up shortly. It's like first plate maybe going over here. Sivir spell shields boxed up. We'll be picking up the plate here potentially. Zeri is ult committing in here. Lulu does have an ult to potentially help here and follow up. We might see that come through in a second. No Lulu ult committed there. You think maybe they could have tried to time the Lulu ulti with the Zeri going in, but here comes a potential tower dive. Tavo doesn't come quite through, but Crownie's fully going in, forced to flash away, and then gets hit. Both of them get hit by the sleep. Absolute disaster aggression there from Crownie once again, maybe feeling the pressure. A couple of very big mistakes, honestly, coming from this bot lane early on. And once again, that seems to be a bit of a weak spot here for Rats lately. This bot lane seems to give up, lose too much early on. And here you can see, can't see the Lily coming down. There is no vision. Crownie just thinks it's safe just to go and commits to the flash. Beautiful E there from the Lily, and both players put to sleep, and that's just easy setup there. Huge amount of gold going over to Lilia. 2 kills picked up there. 2.3k gold deficit so far, and it's really a team composition if you're Rats you don't want to be falling behind on. The Zeri pick is so far not really working out. We have seen Rats though come back into these games and find something out of nothing. I think all eyes would be on Baus to make that happen, because he's the one with the crowd control. He's the one who can manipulate the enemy champions into being in pockets they don't want to be in. No one else can really do that on Rats' team. Meanwhile, Gragas still being a nuisance here. I wonder if the Cassante could just take down the Gragas here though. Cassante's going to have to give up the chase soon, because he's going to lose minions under the turret. Gragas does get the full clear, and he is just going to come back in for another proxy. That ward will stop him, and Cassante is completely expecting it. Cassante's kind of over the wall. Gragas has the ward there. They have vision of each other. Lilia's making her way up top. Cassante's full committing here. Gragas has missed his ulti. Flash committed on the Lilia to pick up the kill, but a little bit of inting there maybe. Nothing really for Rats to get there either on the map. I feel like maybe if the Lilia ran Dark Seal, this game would be even more dangerous for Rats.
Turret plating will fall soon.
I think we've got a little bit of downtime here to kind of analyze what the players can do here to come back into this game for Rats. 1.3k gold deficit on your jungler, nearly 1,000 on your AD carry. You got your Tristana is the only one that's able to kind of keep up at the moment, but the Yontals need time to scale. Tristana has now been put into the bot lane. Atikin will be bot side this game, and Lulu forced to flash away from a tether, and Lilia's right there, and she's ridiculously strong right now. The Tristana ulti used is we're gonna see a Yone ulti there. Not quite full committing, but if you're IJC, you're pretty happy with that, getting another free flash out. First dragon for IJC. Haven't seen them get too many in this series, but that will be an Infernal Dragon for them. This turret is looking a little bit vulnerable in the mid lane. Sivir popped her ulti. Gragas is actually coming in from behind here. Good flash there from the Sivir. Gragas uses his ulti beautifully to try and get the Lilia in. Lilia has got a big shutdown available. Not quite enough damage coming through. Is Leandri's going to be enough? No, it's not. Lilia gets away. That is a disaster for Rats, and might see multiple people coming down here. Nidalee flashes away. I feel like Lilia is still playing with fire here. If one spear goes her direction, there is no way. There is no way. There is no way Thalia finds a pick in that situation there. Now even looking for the Sivers. Is that on purpose that Q missed? I feel that was on purpose, but
Let me see this sky.
honestly, an insane way to try and punish the Lilia from continuing going in for that. I feel like though that Thalia could have not done that. Power play can be so amazing and so inty at the same time. Meanwhile here, Tristana takes a bunch of damage here from the Yone. This game is going kind of all wacky right now. Cassandra engaging on Gragas. Gragas is getting chunked down. Symbiotic Shoes is nearly completed properly now for the boss for that upgrade. This turret is going to fall down soon though, and once it does, it will be free boots upgrade for the IJC for the first time in this series if this turret does fall. Rats need one epic monster and a tower, but I don't see them getting a tower anytime soon. Movement happening here for Herald. Sivir and Lily are on it currently. I was gonna say, meanwhile Rats have discovered that they've been doing it already. Lily connects the spear onto Lilia, but Faust is trying to get away here. He does find a way out. Lily's spear does connect. 3k gold lead now from IJC. Herald now being pushed into mid. This is almost going to guarantee that mid lane turret. Meanwhile, Cassandra's been engaged on the top side. Spear does miss. Cassandra getting brought lower and lower and lower. We're going to see a turnaround here, maybe from Cassandra. Looks like he tried, but not quite enough. Shutdown does go over to Baus. Meanwhile, on the bot side of the map, Lily's looking to pursue. Sleepy Time is using Tristana. Lulu is here though. Lulu ult denies the W damage there from the Lilia. Baus is now teleported from top down to the bot side. There is no Gragas ulti available. Karma does take a good chunk of damage. Tristana E is on that Yone. Is it going to hit anyone else? Sivir ulti is now being popped. There's a lot of movement here for IJC. Zeri ulti committed, but doesn't really do anything. Atikin and Dragon are not up at the moment, so just a lot of resources used there for both teams. No one ends up falling, but I think in the end Rats might be able to get a tower here, maybe. Looks like that's a no. Meanwhile, Sivir in the mid lane, maybe looking a little bit overextended, but the amount of movement speed that IJC have, it's kind of crazy. Rats may be fortunate that it's not going to be a Cloud Soul threat, because if they had Cloud Soul, the amount of speed that their team have would be even more ridiculous. Yone is becoming a problem for Tristana. I don't think Tristana can currently deal with Yone. He's just too strong, and he's just going to keep getting stronger as this game goes on. I think both 1v1s here for Rats are in a disadvantage here. I mean, Gragas can, you know, troll around the Cassante a little bit here, but I feel like if the fight goes out long enough, Cassante will beat Gragas in the 1v1. Nidalee finding the Cassante up top. A little bit of damage coming down. We do have everyone coming up. Zeri going through the wall. Bowser's now coming on from the flank. There is an ulti available. Yeah, as I was going to say, Cassante can maybe find a way to get out by using the Cassante ulti. But they are still converging. There's still Gragas ulti available. We're going to see it use. Zeri pops the ulti. Gragas ulti is actually pretty damn good, to be honest. Unfortunately, Zeri doesn't collect the kill. It does go over to Gragas, but in the meanwhile, in mid lane, there's been a really big push happening there, and they did lose tier 2 mids. Atacun has now spawned bot. Tristana has now engaged onto the Yone. This is a lot of damage, especially with the Lulu helping out. If Yone dies here, you've got 2 people dead now for IJC. IJC, even with 2 members down though, are able to take the dragon. But it could be an Atacun play potentially now for Rats. Cassante does have TP. Looks like Gragas might be getting caught out here though. He does have flash. Body slam through the wall. CP time is used on the Gragas. Is he able to flash out of this one? I think he was thinking about it, but he died way too fast. 2 ultis have been committed, however. Sleepy time and the Sivir ulti. Lots of people getting caught out in this game. I mean, there's a lot on the line. IJC are fighting for their lives. Atacun has been pinged, but wasn't in the end started up after all of that. Gold lead has remained at roughly the same amount, so Rats are doing a good job to contain that. Not letting it get too crazy. Once this Tristana though gets tier 2 boots, one more Zeal item maybe. It's like maybe potentially a Phantom Dancer maybe coming through, or a Last Whisper. But once this Tristana hits 4 items though, that's when she's going to be able to start taking over this game potentially with the Lulu buff up. I just don't feel like the Zeri is really offering too much for Rats. Hurricane finally being finished here for the Zeri. 1.4k gold deficit for her. But yeah, Rats kind of need to wait for 3-4 items ready for their 80 carries. The fact that they've managed to secure one of the dragons is going to extend the game a bit further to allow their carries to get to that later item stage. But IJC are still in the controlling seat for this game. That tier 2 mid for Rats being down is causing some vision issues. You still got the tier 1 open, and it's going to stay like that for a really long time. That Sivir can just be put mid, and it's super easy wave clearing for them. Meanwhile, pings have been going down on the bot side. Tristana versus the Cassante, because Tristana rocket jumps out. Gragas is top still with teleport. Yone's up there too, but he is still up there. He still has TP. Both teams have TP. Atacun looks like has been started. I think IJC have kind of realized that they need to keep the tempo up here. Objective going down to 70% HP right now. At the moment, Zeri is still pushing in mid. Gragas is now finally teleported down. Atacun is now on 50% HP. Atacun is being pulled out all the way. Yone has not teleported down though, so that's going to put a bit of strain here on Rats. What are they going to do? Are they going to pull the Atacun here? They need to kind of maybe force out the Yone's teleport in response to this. I don't feel like they can get away with only Baus TPing. That's a good slide dash there from Cassante to dodge the body slam. Sivir ulti being popped. Cassante already put down the half HP. Lilia goes in. Sleepy time on the Lulu and the Tristana at the back line. Zeri is still not part of this fight, by the way. Neither is Yone. Yone is still running down the river after using his teleport. I think during that Zeri was just getting mid lane prior and just getting some farming, doing some damage to that mid lane turret, but that mid lane turret's still up. 5v5 now here. Gragas has no ulti. Neither team willing to commit to this objective fully yet, but it was pulled out. Crowny kept aggro of it, and it's on 6k health. Are they gonna, as IGC looking to recommit? Yone's already been brought down to half HP. Atacun is now on 1.2k. Atacun does get picked up. It's gardening time. And Zeri can do a great job gardening. Cassante's now caught out all by himself. That's not going to help him. That does put Crowny away from the fight, though. Kind of miscommunication here happening at important moments again here for IJC. Similar to how the Baron happens. Just the commit, they weren't ready to commit for the fight. And that pulls the gold lead even closer to even, and you feel like with the Atacun as well. So this fight, I mean, they tried to reset the Atacun and then they randomly tried to re-engage here, but Yone just gets chunked down and brought back out, and Yone has no way to help commit him, the Cassante, and he's just stuck there. The Gragas barrel's just in the way, and communication is just all over the place here for IJC. That some of them are saying to go in, some are talking to give it up, and now they're rushing to do the Baron. Another desperation play, but Rats are not aware of this Baron take at all. It's going down slowly. It's on 50% of HP. I think they're now kind of aware that they could be on it. This is giving me flashbacks here for to the previous game. That's going to leave our bot side open up, so Rats could run down the bot side now and get that dragon now for free if they wanted to. Looks like the eyes are on this tier 1 and then maybe to the dragon. It's going to give them full map control now after they got shoved off of that Baron. Tier 1 top is going down. I think Gragas did recall in time. He should be able to answer the tier 2 in time. And that is going to be dragon number 2 for both teams. Some damage and pressure being applied in this tier 2. There's 5 members of IJC up here, but they're not wanting to commit on a tower dive on a Gragas. The nerves on communication. IJC have been getting ahead in a couple of these games now, but their epic monster shot calling is just all over the place. They're not on the same page at all. They look panicky, indecisive. They keep setting up for these objectives and it's just not working out in their favor whenever they start any of these objectives. Maybe they need to find picks first and then start the objectives. They seem to be much better at finding the picks rather than calling for the neutral objectives. But if you're Rats, I think you're feeling pretty confident now. You're being allowed to scale more into this game. Tristana and Zeri slowly making their way to their third items. I'm pretty sure they've been told. They're telling their teammates right now, hold on guys, just try not to have a team fight just yet. Sivir has 3 items completed, 1.7k item gold over. Zeri needs her Infinity Edge urgently. Tristana needs another item there too. Nidalee will start to fall off though. But with the double AD carry team comp with the Lulu and a Nidalee, like the attack speed buff that you can give over to your AD carries is absolutely absurd. I think 5 points in E on Nidalee is 75% attack speed. You got another 25% attack speed with the Lulu and the movement speed with Whimsy. Absolutely disgusting amount. Baron has been started here for IJC. Desperation call number 2 on the Baron. Zeri W kind of separates people out. Zeri ulti now used. IJC are trying to fall back, but there's still people in the pit there for IJC. Once again, Cassante's kind of caught out, and Zeri's still getting her ulti stacked up here. IJC have been pushed off. They've managed to actually retreat and get back as a team this time. Spear connects onto 1, but you can see that these calls are just so panicky and just not on the same line. IJC are worried about Baron, thinking that maybe Rats may be trying to sneak it away, but they weren't even anywhere near it. Time being wasted once again. As I said before, Rats does not look for a fight. Maybe that's the case. I mean, you got item power spikes on IJC. They know that the Zeri doesn't have Infinity Edge yet. Dominique's now finished for Tristana though. Not too long now, maybe for the Zeri's Infinity Edge. And with the extra time wasted, it has been allowed to get farm over to Rats. Zeri recalling now. I think we're going to be seeing an Infinity Edge here now. And now Rats will be ready to fight. They're now on even item grounds. There's the Infinity Edge being picked up now by Zeri. That's what they've been waiting for. Potential flank angle coming here. Spear connects onto Lilia. That brings it straight on to 50% HP. Calls being made. Sivir ulti being used. A lot of damage being passed over there to the Sivir. Meanwhile, on the bot lane, you got a 1v1. Gragas could just get himself out of the situation. It's 2 level difference there. 17 to level 15. Baron has now been started this time by Rats. I think this is the 4th time now these teams have been trying to start Baron. It's going down ridiculously fast with the double 80 carry composition. Gragas has not TP'd. Rats do get the Baron. IJC too slow to actually contest that objective. And that is an Atacand up Baron buff for Rats. Gold lead now for the first time goes into their side. Also, you had teleport not even used there by Gragas. CP time onto the Gragas, but Gragas' friends over the wall. Lilia ulti is now down, and you're saying that's a free ulti off for Rats. No Lilia ulti. I mean, if you look at the ultis across the board now for IJC, they're not exactly the best ultis. You got Yone ulti maybe to worry about, but that's about it. Lots of damage will be going down to this turret very shortly with 2 80 carries. They're waiting for the next wave. Spear connects to the Lily. She gets deleted off of the map, and now you feel like how much of the base can Rats take now? If Rats do win this game, that does make them the winners of the EMEA Masters. 5v4. Rats trying their best to macro out. Mid wave is cleared out by IJC. Bot tier 2 now being the next contention. There's nothing for top wave for them to get, so the main contention is going to be this bottom mid. Could end up seeing a little bit of reset here. They could reset here quickly and still have some time on Baron. But there is a dragon being started here by Velia. That's going to put them on 3 dragons. The Baron empowered recall, they could all reset here pretty quickly. 3,000 gold lead from a 2,000, 3,000 gold deficit. Rats just keep pulling this off time and time again. When you think that Rats are out, when Rats are down, they keep pulling themselves back up. A little bit of downtime here now. Baron buff is still available for 40 seconds, but could maybe see Gragas getting closer towards this tier 2. Maybe they get the tier 2 top if they're able to maneuver up towards this top side of the map. But Yone pushing up bot side. No one on Rat said to answer that. So I think top side is being eyed up here. You've got 20 seconds still on Baron. You've got maybe 1 wave here to maybe use. Red buff being contested over. Does reset, so Rats will pick this one up. Will enable all 5 members of their team to get the rat buff, the red buff. Brilliant. Gragas ulti over, forces the Lilia stopwatch, and meanwhile Sivir has already died somewhere else on the map in the mid lane. 4 members of IJC still alive. Casanti potentially getting caught off here. Looks like Casanti may fall off here to Crowny. Not quite just yet. They're making these picks off. That's another one down. Yone going down there as well. You got 3 people dead on IJC. Rats are looking to finish off this. They're making it a 3-0. I don't think anyone predicted that this would be a 3-0. First turret falling down here. You got turret number 2. You got IJC looking at their base, falling right down in shambles. Gragas going for the tower dive. Not quite making it. Not able to fully ace IJC, but that is a huge 3-0 for Rats. Putting all the haters into silence there. Back-to-back 3-0s in semi-finals and finals. Representatives for Great Britain winning the EMEA Masters. That does make them the best EU team if you don't include LEC teams. I mean, there are multiple times in these games where you feel like there's no way that Rats can pull themselves back into this one. But they manage it. Credits to Rats for getting the 3-0 here. And once again, you have early game issues in the bot lane. This time being severely punished. A flash used on the Zeri. Beautiful sleep there from the Lilia. Easy double kill pickup. And you're thinking at this point, Lilia can run away with this. But big miscommunication over this Atikin for IJC. Really is the starting point of their downfall. They keep calling for these objectives and just not committing for them. Giving Rats a chance to get out, and this Cassante is also punished for all of that miscommunication. Here near the end of the game here, you got a beautiful ulti over to the Lilia, catching her out, but in the mid lane as well, you also saw that Tristana caught out the Sivir. Tristana with the Lulu catching out Sivir, making that a super duper easy pick. And everything just completely falling apart here for IJC. Just saw multiple Barons get miscalled here too for IJC. They just didn't know what to do. They didn't know if they should carry on, do the objectives. Just on the wrong footing there. And being punished super heavily for that as well. So yeah, congratulations to Rats for winning everything. I don't think anyone expected a 3-0 grand final. I didn't. I thought, honestly, it would be a 3-2. I think there was even a chance that IJC could have potentially won this series. I think in the first game, you saw both teams were very evenly kind of matched. And game number 2, game number 3, though, Rats just honestly just kind of ran them down at that point. The communication was just too shaky for this level of gameplay. And, you know, it was a lot on the line. It was a grand final. You got hundreds of thousands of people watching this series. You've got 270,000 people in Casual Stream, 40,000 in Baus. God knows how many other people watching this. This is probably close to, across all Twitch streams and stuff like that, probably about 600,000 people watching this series, which is insane for a non-Worlds, non-LEC, LCS kind of big game. So credit to Rats to bringing a lot more attention to pro play. So yeah, congratulations Casuals team. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching me casting. If I get more opportunities to do it, I will do it if you guys want me to. I enjoy doing these if you guys enjoy me doing them. So yeah. All the best, guys. Take care. And I will be streaming again tomorrow with some solo queue. Bye bye.